learn to catch the football. Learn to stop being a hindrance to your team. I know. And look, I'm a John. I'm Team AJ too, but it is bad optics when you try to make yourself the good guy in everything.
Let's bring in Jeff Kerr here on Birds 365 this morning. He joins us right now. Jeff, welcome to the program, man. The Eagles, one and done. Eliminated from playoff contention by the San Francisco 49ers. They lose the game 23-19. How you doing this morning, my friend?
Are we honestly shocked?
No. Jeff, we've talked about this all year.
I'm a little shocked they lost to this team. I'm a little shocked just because of how banged up they were.
I tweeted it yesterday. You reap what you sow. When you play for the 3 seed, this is the result you honestly get. I know people don't want to hear the whole rest thing. Well, Nick Sirianni can guarantee all the rest he wants now.
Boy, I wasn't going the rest route.
I wasn't here. Look,
well,
I'm
so
not
are you
blaming.
saying that they should have played for the 2 seed and value
Yes.
that a little more?
Yeah.
So then
I
they
don't
lose. So then they lose to the.
I mean, but if they lose to the Packers,
Yeah.
then they lose to the Packers. But look, that's a minor thing to me. I just didn't like how they approached the end of the season. I agreed with it from their perspective, but from the outside looking in, this is just how I felt. I'm like, look, I don't think this helps your football team at all. I know you can guarantee rest, blah, 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 but you have more favorable matchups, I think. And I thought this 49ers team was a lot better than what people were giving them credit for. I know they were injured and they lost George Kittle yesterday, but
yeah, we haven't talked about that, by the way. They lost George Kittle as well.
In the second quarter. I feel like that team rallied. That Jawan Jennings touchdown play, that was a masterclass by Shanahan.
Dude, that was
Go to the guy who was ranked higher than multiple starting NFL quarterbacks in high school.
That's amazing. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I did.
That was a hell of a throw. And it was a better catch.
When I saw Jennings get the ball, I'm like, oh, he's throwing it. Somebody's open. It just happened to be McCaffrey.
Boy, that's over the shoulder. He catches the football like it's Justin Jefferson.
Did you guys hear him after the game talk about setting that play up all game, trying to get ready, set that play up?
Oh, well, I tell you, I tweeted that or X posted, whatever the hell it's called now.
Same
Kyle
thing.
Shanahan, his quote, boy, it's thrilling to have a head coach who talks about things. That play is called, he gave us the play name. It's called Sky Bang Reverse Pass for Sky Moore because he's the one who flipped it. It used to be called Debo Bang Reverse Pass. But anyway, he starts talking about the play like it's no competitive advantage. Kyle's just talking about the freaking game. That's what I liked.
I know. Amazing if Nick would do that.
But the Eagles will give you, you'll get the injury report at the end of practice.
Yeah, we'll see is what you get from Nick. And meanwhile, we'll see from Nick, and we get, it's called Sky Bang Reverse Pass. And it used to be called Debo Bang Reverse Pass. And he talked about when he ran it before, and he went to Atlanta when he ran it there with somebody else.
It was Mohamed Sanu. He ran it in Atlanta with.
Yeah. So there you have it. Anyway, but that was a hell of a throw. And the rare roughing the passer call on a non-quarterback. Jalen Carter actually got called.
Which I thought was a weird call, by the way.
It was a weird call. But it didn't matter because he caught the ball. Christian McCaffrey, my God. He is the best receiving back of all time. And number 2 isn't close. And of all time.
He had
and people are going to bring up Marshall Faulk. Don't bring up Marshall Faulk. Don't bring up Roger Craig. They were great running backs catching the football. This guy catches the football better than receivers.
You can see why the Eagles wanted him many years ago.
Yep.
That was the guy. That was the guy they had their eyes set on. They were hoping he'd fall just a little bit, and he went 9th to the Panthers. And
that was the draft that was in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
I got news that they were trying to trade up for Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I said it that night. Oh, boy, I got shit on. And it took 10 years for I think it took about 10 years before it was finally confirmed. Now, I'm exaggerating. Obviously, it's not been 10 years, but it's probably like 5 years.
Yeah, it took a little bit.
Took a long time. They badly wanted Christian.
Do you guys like how the 49ers gave their money player the football?
Well, they had nobody else.
I mean, they had to, but the Eagles don't do that.
Well, no, I'll tell you what, though. Forget about
They
Christian.
tried. Their money players dropped the football.
Yeah, A.J. Brown had a terrible game yesterday.
Yeah, he really
Let's not
did.
bury the lead here.
Forget about Christian. How about Demarcus Robinson? To me, he was the biggest star of the game.
He beat Quignon twice on that first drive.
Yeah. He really played well. He really played well.
I haven't seen him play that well since he was with the Chiefs the first time.
Yeah. So a lot of guys stepped up, and they deserve credit. And I think, Jalen gave them credit. They played well. And the other team is playing. But I am surprised from the standpoint that they lost to this team at this time because of all the issues. And then you had all the injury issues. Then you had George Kittle to it in game. And they still lost.
I think this is when my angle was confirmed about, kind of resting your players and stuff. When Lane Johnson, I heard Saturday that he's not exactly there. And I'm like, if he don't play, I mean, they only averaged 20 points per game without Lane. It wasn't much more with him, but the fact that this offense and this quarterback struggled as much as he did without Lane, like they're going to have their issues on Sunday. And I didn't think Lane Johnson missing was overall in the grand scheme of things. I don't think that was their biggest fault, but man, I thought they needed him on Sunday.
Well, they always need him, but I mean, they've been without him for 8 games.
Is he done, guys?
I don't think he's going to be done because I don't think he wants to end his career that way. But who knows? I mean, he hasn't talked since the Giants lost.
He's like AJ. They just don't talk.
Yeah. Well, he's been hurt.
That's what I'm factoring into the discussion. Is the love for the game, or is the love? You know what I mean? Has it worn off to him? I think it certainly has on AJ for a different reason. He wants to go play somewhere else. And by the way, I know AJ had a poor game. My guess is this: AJ Brown will have a good season next year wherever it is that he plays. I don't know.
Agree with that.
Oh, I agree with that.
Yeah, people are
he's a good player.
Yeah, it's a great player.
So, I think AJ Brown is a very talented, very frustrated player right now, and that's it. And I think it shows on the field.
He cost himself, though. I think one of the reasons he's dropping footballs is because he let all that stuff get in his head instead of just going out and keep playing.
And I've been team AJ since pretty much day one. I love the guy, but he did not play well yesterday.
Yeah.
He did not play well.
Yeah. By the way, John, Mr. Team EPA.
Well, I used to be Team PFF now.
Well, no, the reason people are saying that is because we were saying the offense sucks, and John's like, well, the EPA, they're 12th in the league.
Well, they were.
I
what
know.
do you want from me?
That doesn't hide the problem.
Negative 0.12 EPA for AJ Brown yesterday. It's not good.
Yeah, no good.
And by the way, go blame Ben Johnson. They all, glaze him. He's Mr. EPA.
Jeff, how much of a letdown or how much of a miss of expectations is this for this Eagles team?
Well, it's a swing and a miss, Zander. I mean, you had a team that I would say 3 weeks ago, I thought, not that they were clicking or everything, but I thought they were setting themselves up to at least win a playoff game or two. And what I thought was, and I still kind of think it is, a weak NFC, a weak NFL. There isn't no dominant team this year, although we might have seen one on Sunday night with the Patriots that they might be dominant. But
I don't know with that offensive line with the job. I don't take anything. In fact, I was a little disappointed with it, and I didn't see a lot of the game because I was doing Eagles shit. But I was a little disappointed that they struggled so much offensively. I mean, that Chargers offensive line, they're getting pushed back 8 yards in the lap of the quarterback.
Oh man, that offensive line is.
I can't believe they made the playoffs, and people are going, Justin Herbert lost in the playoffs. Shut up.
I know. Come on, you can't use that on Herbert.
Yeah, I mean, look, Herbert didn't play well, but it's not like he had time to do anything.
Tom Brady wouldn't play well back there, dude.
Yeah, no one would.
The line was getting destroyed.
It was bad. Miller Williams was just feasting off that Chargers interior last night, especially in the second half. That Patriots defense is legit good.
You know who else was feasting? Milton Williams.
Milt.
Yeah,
I love Milt. Good dude, man.
Yeah, man.
Monster.
Yeah.
He was a monster last year. Was a monster this year. I honestly, because his contract was so big, I've seen it happen so many times. And look, he wasn't the guy here. Jalen Carter was the guy. So all of a sudden he gets paid like he's Jalen Carter. And I thought, well, he's not going to live up to those expectations. Well, he did, at least for 1 year.
And then some.
And then people wondering in Philly what Jalen Carter's really worth. He didn't really show up yesterday. I mean, I know he had the sack, but outside of that, I'm expecting the pocket to collapse on purpose.
I was going to bring this up.
Very banged up. I
was going to bring this up too. This was probably the most shocking stat of them all yesterday. Jalen Hunt didn't record a thing.
Yeah,
that's not shocking to me. Trent showed up, man.
Oh, well, Trent Williams is Trent Williams.
Yeah.
He's people get mad he gets all pro votes. I'm like, no, he gets all pro votes because it's Trent Williams.
That dude's first ballot, one of the best left tackles of all time. And people will point to he was holding Nolan Smith. Guess what? Same thing with Lane Johnson. When you're at that level, you're going to get the benefit of the fucking doubt.
I watched that game with a couple people yesterday, and they were calling Holden. I said, he ain't. No, they're not going to call that on him. They're not.
And Lane gets a lot of benefit of the doubt, too. Remember those videos that used to come out months early, like every single play?
Yeah, when you get that reputation. But he is a really good player, Trent Williams.
Jeff, what's the fallout here? We're try and be as realistic, but also as brutally honest as possible. I mean, this offense, Jeff, I know we've justified it for many weeks, not just us personally, but everybody at large because of the success of the team. But this offense sucks. It sucked all year. It sucked.
That's a nice way to put it, Zander.
I mean, and then ultimately, it's what got them because they have all this talent on the offense. And I know John's right. You can't just look at the money and assume that's going to equal production, but their talent level is better than their production. All right, it might not be as good as we think, but it's certainly better than their production. And ultimately, the reason the Eagles are at home right now is because the offense didn't do their job. I mean, 19 points yesterday against one of the worst defenses in not only the playoffs, in the league, missing every linebacker out there. Bryce Huff as their number one edge rusher.
By the way, I got to look it up. Chris Franklin. By the way, Chris is going to be on the show tomorrow, but he got a good quote from, I think it was Keon White, about Bryce Huff saying something about fuck Philly or something, but I got to look it up.
I don't blame Bryce Huff for that. He was inactive for the Super Bowl. It didn't work out here. I would say the same thing about him.
Jeff, so what's the fallout, though?
Well, Ken Patullo won't be back. I think that's pretty clear. I mean, it'd be madness if Ken.
Problem?
All right, fixed. Let's get rid of KP. Everything's fixed.
It will not fix the problem because the quarterback has to be better too. I don't think he had a good year this year. I'll admit it. I don't think Jalen had a good year. I thought he played bad yesterday. But again, I'd like to see him with a coach that tailors to his strengths a little more. Mm-hmm. I don't think this coaching staff did that. I just think, look, and I'm not going to blame Jalen Hurts for this season. I'm just not going to do it. But I think he needs to be better. I think they got to get this thing rectified with A.J. Brown, whatever it is, where A.J.'s gone or not. I personally, I don't see that right now, him being gone. There are ways he can do it, but as of January, 12th, I don't see it. I know he's frustrated.
You think A.J.'s coming back?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, body language, no, but I just don't know.
They got to post June 1st, but.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot that needs to be in play.
At some point, if somebody's that unhappy, you just got to let them go.
Yeah, I think it's more driven by him because, by the way, I know people are saying he's gone. From the Eagles' perspective, it makes about 0% sense to move on from A.J. Brown in the middle of this massive contract and what are you going to replace him with? And we all have offensive issues, right? Do we think the offense is going to be better without A.J.? Is that the expectation? Because we should correct that real quick. They are not going to be better without A.J. Brown. So it doesn't make sense from an Eagles perspective, as bad as it was. But I think AJ Brown wants to be out. I don't think he wants to play here anymore. And I can't really blame him.
By the way, I had no issues with Nick Sirianni basically telling him off yesterday, whatever he was telling them.
Oh, I didn't have a problem with that on the sideline. No. He's a head coach. I mean, if he's got a problem with something, he's allowed to, you need to be focused in the playoffs.
Yeah,
but.
yeah. Learn to catch the football. Learn to stop being a hindrance to your team. I know. And look, I'm a John. I'm Team AJ too, but it is bad optics when you try to make yourself the good guy and everything. It just is.
I agree.
Yeah, well, the dust up on the sideline, sometimes that happens. But yeah, I mean, the head coach he wasn't getting off the field. I mean,
Yeah, you gotta get off the field. Simple as that. I don't know. But yeah, I agree. Look, the man's frustrated. And he does have right. He does have a right to be frustrated. He's been frustrated for a while. I mean, when you're not exactly thrilled after you win a Super Bowl, you see fulfillment. You don't see it. I don't know. There's something mentally that's bothering him, and whether that's the organization or whether that's
he wants to dominate.
It's not that hard to figure out. Yeah, I mean, he believes
to dominate.
He's one of the best players in the world, and he believes he's been put into a box, and now he's looked at as a pedestrian receiver in the league. He's not.
Well, I don't think anybody looks at him like he's a pedestrian receiver.
Well, I think people are going to after this year.
He
wasn't even close to Pro Bowl, All Pro, none of those things. Here's 3 drops in the playoff game. Trust me.
Here's the real question: do we think AJ Brown's lost a step?
He did this year in Philly, but I don't know if that's because he lost a step.
Do we think this man has actually lost a step?
I don't think from a health standpoint. I think maybe from a perception standpoint, because he was unhappy and that manifested in different ways. But,
yeah, that's what I think.
I will say this though: if he goes to a different team, if I was covering, I think he'll have a big year and he'll have something to prove. For 1, 2, he's going to have to do that because that's 2 teams now he kind of forced his way out of.
Well, I don't know if he forced his way out of Tennessee. That was more up. They didn't want to pay him. That was
he was frustrated there though. But I agree with you on the premise.
I think anybody would be frustrated playing there.
I mean, the guy had to play with Derrick Henry, and then he had to play with Saquon Barkley.
Yeah, I mean, this guy wants to go and dominate, man. Put this guy in the Patriots. He's going to get 1,500.
But I think Tennessee's, and that was John Robinson, which cost him his job, by the way. And more ownership, I would say. They were like, well, we're run first, so why are we going to pay this guy? It's like what we say here. If you're going to be run first, why you got to pay this guy? That's their decision. So be careful what you wish for.
All right, well, let me ask you this. We asked, has AJ lost a step? Here's the real black pill and the tough question that everybody in the chat will be mad at me for asking. Has Jalen Hurts lost a step? Triple threat. Jalen Hurts comment a couple years ago. I'm a triple threat. He had 14 rushing yards in the playoff game.
He wasn't that this year.
On the line. I mean,
well, here's the thing.
He's never been a passing guy. Just to be frank, he's never been the guy that goes out and wins games consistently with his arm. That's not his game. That's okay. He wins other ways. But if you get rid of that other way, if you stop running the football, if you stop using your legs as a threat, isn't it fair to say, well, have you lost the step? Have you regressed?
Oh, I think that's more than fair.
Well, the numbers are in. So Paul Hembo, 96 design runs in 2024, excluding tush pushes. So forget about the tush push. 96 in 2024, 41 in 2025.
Yeah, that's a big drop off.
Now, you saw the reports earlier that he didn't want to run the ball.
What does he want?
My indication was it was part him, part them. But that things were going to amp up in the playoffs. Well, there was only one game. They didn't really amp up. Now, we did have that 110-yard scramble that got called back. That would have changed things dramatically because that was an example of him doing what he can do, but it was called back by the Cam Jurgens holding call. So it's too small of a sample size to see. If we got through 4 games, we would have seen if he was going to use his legs, but we'll never get to see it.
That's the only thing about this game where, again, and Patullo will not be back, but where I can defend the coach. a coach is not responsible for a Cam Jurgens holding penalty, a Darius Cooper holding penalty on a 12-yard run.
They are not.
Drops. They do not want to blame. No one wants to blame these players for failing.
They
ever.
do not.
These guys are gods to them. Come hell or high water. And I don't get it.
I don't know why. That's goofy.
It is goofy.
It may be goofy, but it's true.
I got news for you. The players don't care about you either.
Yeah.
Now, there was that great Mickey Mantle quote from Bronx Tale. If you saw Bronx Tale, Mickey Mantle doesn't give a shit about you or something of that nature.
Yeah, something like that. But
I'm paraphrasing, that wasn't what it was. It was much more eloquent. But yeah, I mean, you guys protect them like they're kids, you know? Yeah. I mean,
what I get upset is they want to blame, and I thought he had a good game yesterday, by the way, Devonta Smith, but they want to blame Patullo and the triple coverage throw in the fourth down. If Devonta Smith just catches the ball on third down, you're not in that situation.
Yeah. By the way, remember the Zach Ertz narrative. No yak, Zach.
AJ Brown didn't have yak.
Devontae doesn't get yak. When Devontae gets hit, he goes down.
AJ Brown did not have a yak yesterday.
Yeah,
no yards after the catch.
But AJ, in his career,
yes, yeah,
a very good yards after catch receiver. Devontae, you're the stat guy. You know,
he don't get a lot of them.
Yeah. So I hear people, why can't you jet sweep Devontae Smith? A, you're going to get him killed. What tackle is he breaking? They don't have a manufactured touch player, and they should get one. They tried to get one with Denai Smith, didn't work.
All he did was drop the pass, and
he had bad hands.
Looked like a deer in the headlights, and that guy looked like he knew in training camp practices, like, dude, I don't have it.
Is this talent overrated on offense, Jeff Kerr?
Yeah, I've been thinking that for a while, honestly.
I just think they run an offense that condenses all the talent. And
I'll tell you what, and when I tell you guys a lot this year, and I know you both agree with me on this, my concern with this team was the offensive line first and foremost, more than anybody on the coaching staff. And
well, yeah,
I
just did not think they had a good year this year as a group.
Part of the reason John talked about, I mean, playing this way that the Eagles play it was great.
They got beat to shit last year.
I mean, it's tough. This is hard to sustain, man. Yeah. I mean, this offensive line is not old. Like, it's not like we got a bunch of 30-plus-year-olds that have lost a step. You got 26 or 27-year-old Landon Dickerson. You got Cam Jurgens, who's just got his new contract. I mean, Jordan Mailata is not even 30. He's 28 or 29, whatever he is. Tyler Steen's on a rookie deal. Now, he was, not whatever.
He wasn't Mekhi Becton. Let's just
no, he wasn't, but he didn't regress.
No. I don't think he was bad. I just thought he was okay.
It's
fine. It's a style of play. It's going to kill.
Different style of player, but he was fine.
You can't blame Tyler Steen. I didn't think Landon Dickerson had a good year.
By the way, I don't know if you saw Landon's comments, but he was not. He was asked, "Do you think it'll be okay moving forward?" And
and he wasn't exactly sure on that. That's scary.
Yeah, I mean,
that's the worst feeling in the world for a player, especially when you play at the high level he plays at all the time.
Well, and you talk about how physical he was, and he was of all the offensive linemen, even more than Kelsey. He was the key to the tush push. He would just push people around.
But guys, what do they got to fix this summer now? Like, because they're going to fire the OC. I agree, and I agree with both of you that it's not going to be the fix people think it is, unless, and I still don't think it will be, but whatever. Unless they give them autonomy. Do you bring in a Cliff Kingsbury style guy, let him run his offense? Don't let Nick make him go into this shell. No, I know what you guys are going to say. The reason they went into the shell isn't really because of Nick, but people don't want to hear that. What's the fix, though? Is it you got to look to the quarter? I don't know. I mean, I'm asking you guys. You guys know.
I know what I would do. I would tell Nick Sirianni, you ain't picking anything. We're picking it, and he's running the offense.
Well, is the offense better? Because they tried with Kellen Moore. They brought in a passing guy to fix it. 4 games in. They were 2-2.
They reversed course.
7 turnovers in 4 games, and there was an intervention.
They not only they reversed course and went back from where they were.
Yeah, intervention. The offensive line intervention. We can't throw the ball.
I mean, look, is it? It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. But when did they have that conversation with the quarterback?
Yeah.
By the way, let me explain this plainly. You can't go into you can't have a head coach who's an offensive guy and say you're not allowed to bother whatever name you think you want. Then you got to fire the head coach. You can't operate in that fashion.
I agree with that.
That is a bullshit.
But is it crazy enough to think like, and I've seen people, respected analysts, tweet this, like, could Nick Sirianni actually like be gone? I don't see that.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, look, they fired Doug.
But he's less than 12 months off the Super Bowl championship. You really want to fire Nick Sirianni?
Yeah, and then what's the next coach who's coming in here going to say, oh, they fired him after a year? But you're right, Jeff. Let me read it real quick. It was, who was it? I think it was Warren Sharp. He tweets this. I don't know what you guys think of Warren.
By the way, Warren's an Eagles fan. And he's being emotional.
Oh, is he an Eagle fan?
Yeah. He's an Eagles guy.
Oh, I didn't know that. He said Nick has to be out.
He worked for the team at one point.
But he did ask one relevant question, and I want to get both of your opinions on this.
And I don't know if he's a fan, but he worked for the team. Look, he's being emotional. Okay, that's all I'm saying.
That's fine. But here's the question I think he asked that's fair to wonder. How many owners are seriously lining up to hire Nick Sirianni in the coaching cycle?
Well, I think
someone would hire him.
Are you kidding me? Come on.
Okay, well that's
someone would hire him.
If you think so, yeah, all right.
Jesus Winning Christ. Is the ultimate doing here? For head coach.
What are we doing here?
That's why I get tired of it.
I agree with you, but I think there is a slew of people out there who think Howie Roseman, great talent, 2 great coordinators in Steichen and Fangio that have given him great runs. You know, some people look at him and think
the revision, and I love Shane to death. The revisionist history on Shane Steichen is amazing to me. Nobody took more shit than Shane.
I remember it because I produced every show on JAKIB. I remember it, John.
Because he was a great guy off the mic, on the platform. He was just because it wasn't his place because he's not the head coach, so that was part of it. But he was just so vanilla. People hated him. Him.
I'll tell you what. I've talked to Shane at plenty of owners meetings over the years. Man, you get that microphone away from him, he is awesome.
Oh,
no matter if it's the Eagles or the Colts, he will give you all the ingredients to the salad. He really will.
Great dude. Told me so much about the team and the offense and about what he did, but none of it that I can make public. On the podium, he was the most vanilla guy on purpose. That he could possibly be, and people did not like it, and now they act like they like it.
I asked Shane about Joe Flacco 2 years ago when he was with the Colts, or the year Joe was with the Colts. They signed him, and I asked him on the record with the cameras there, and he told me stick around, and I did, and so I waited 10 minutes, and he goes, "All right, you can put this in if you want." He just gives you like 20 minutes on Joe Flacco. I'm like, oh yeah, I can use that. Great story.
Yeah, he's a great dude, but I mean, it's complete revisionist history that.
All right, guys, let me ask you about the controversial final play that's been ripped by every tape analyst out there on X.
Yeah, all the geniuses
didn't like the concept. Did not like the concept.
But 4th and 11 in quarters coverage, they do run 4 verticals. I don't know. I mean,
it just felt like the offense all year, honestly.
I know, but in that moment, is that what you come up with? I don't know. What do you guys make of it, John? What do you think of it?
I saw people trying to detect what Jalen Hurts' body language or what he said. I thought they
didn't even show his face. I didn't understand that clip.
That's content creation.
Yeah, right.
I asked Jalen about the 4th down play because Nick said they called the timeout to get a picture of what they were doing. So I asked I asked Jalen flat out, well, did they come out in something different? Because sometimes they know you're taking a picture. Sometimes they come out with something different. Jalen said, nope, they stayed. It was quarters. That was what they were in originally. So that was the plan, which obviously did not work. Now, look, what normally, if you're in quarters, you're going to throw something to the flat or you're going to throw something over the middle. That's what they did. They threw it over the middle. Now, if you throw it to the flats on 4th and 11 with your season on the line and hope insert name breaks the tackle and you end up short of that first down, what kind of shit do you think is going on at that?
Oh, you're going to get a lot of shit.
You're throwing up beneath the stink. They're playing quarters to keep, it's 4th and 11.
Yeah, right. They're protecting the line.
In a condensed area of the field. Remember, it's not at the 20-yard line.
Yeah, it would almost be better if that happened at the 50-yard line.
Oh, yeah, it would have been much better.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But it's in a very condensed area. The smart play is to throw it in the flat. Not on 4th and 11, it isn't. You got to take your shot. And he took a shot in the middle of the field, but San Francisco defended it very well.
Can I ask why so many people had an issue with the Eagles taking timeout? You got 3.
Well, because they could have had another. They could have stopped them on 3 runs and had 20 seconds left to try to score a touchdown. But
here's the thing. Like I always say, and look, I know it's a different sport, but when I'm on the bench, assistant coaching, I always say to our head coach, you can't take them with you.
If you're 4 and 11 and your season's on the line, I have no problem calling the timeout. Now, the people say you call a timeout. That's what you come up with. One thing about all the film guys, some are good, some aren't as good, some are great, some aren't as good. What I've heard from none of them is, what would you do?
Well, they never give you that. It's always hindsight.
Yeah.
That's why I don't break it down. I can't.
And most of them, my guess is they'd say, well, you got to throw it in the flat. Boy, I remember explaining that to Jody Mack when the Giants won their playoff game. You remember when Kirk Cousins threw it? Zander might remember this. He threw it. He didn't throw it to the sticks with the season on the line, and he threw it to T.J. Hawkinson, and he got tackled. Oh, my God. Jody wouldn't give up. He's like, it's the dumbest play ever. It's all he had. You're hoping to break the tackle.
He's done that before.
If you don't throw to the sticks with the season on the line, it would have been even worse. You get tackled on 4th and 11, an 8-yard gain. These people would have lost their freaking minds.
Well, that's why I get upset. They're like, Jalen threw in the triple coverage. Yeah, it was quarters. 20 yards, less than 20 yards. Do the math.
I think the best point that's been made about this final play is John, with the lack of space and where they were on the field. I mean, when you don't have that area, because Acho did give another example of somebody who came up with a better design. He gave a few of them, and they were good. But the one
Acho's one of the best film guys. I give him credit.
Yeah, he's good, and he ripped that play.
I didn't see
some options, but the one option he gave was the Bears play where they got the touchdown to DJ Moore, and that was a great play design, but that wouldn't have worked in that area of the field because it was so condensed in. They had that play where they faked the screen, DJ Moore streaks up the left side, nobody was open. I don't know. I think there's a better play than
you know what? Defenders know that too.
If I'm the quarterback,
they know that.
Even I'm going to, somebody had to have, even if it was double coverage, I'm giving somebody a chance to get the football with my season on the line. Jalen seemed to just go, all right, Dallas Goedert's having a good game. I'm just going to throw it to him.
And there's a good chance Dallas could have caught it. You don't know.
That ball was there. There was more defenders there than.
Yeah, that was not a good decision.
That sounds like you play quarters though.
See, this is what I thought was about to come: the hook and ladder. But the Eagles don't run shit like that.
Eagles aren't that creative.
Shit like that. That would have worked though in that defense, I think.
I think a slant short of the sticks may have been better with the Eagles.
Yeah.
Well, if they would have thrown it short of the sticks and gotten tackled, oh boy.
That's what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah, but it would have
been throw something short,
the result
like a hitch route or something.
I mean, the thing I like about the throwing it before, John, I agree with you about this. I mean, give the ball to a playmaker and hope they make a play. That's football.
I think that's a smart play.
Yeah, they still get on the Titans 26 years later. The Dyson Mike Jones play, and I still say that's a genius play that they threw it to Dyson because all Dyson had to do was beat Jones. I thought Dyson scored. I'm like, Mike Jones is in such a bad angle, he wasn't making that tackle, and he made it.
Saquon's inability to catch the football consistently is really a problem. Like in a moment like that, that's the type of playmaker you want to have in your hands.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a bad drop yesterday too.
He drops 40% of his targets for crying out loud. And they all hit him right in the hands.
He did at Penn State. He always drops passes.
Yeah, he cannot.
Wait, what? Really? Has anybody ever mentioned that before? Yeah.
All right. I know it's a good faith payment, what the Eagles did, paying him. I don't know why they have to give you a good faith payment for running for 2,500 yards. You signed a contract the year before. He ain't happy. I don't know.
Yeah, so
there's an interesting question. Should they move on from Saquon Barkley?
They won't.
They won't.
What are
they got one more year because they foolishly kicked it down the road.
Yeah.
But
that would be one of those things I think would be like off the rate. Like, are there any more of them? And
that's one thing this team was missing this year, by the way. There were not a lot of explosive runs out of Saquon Barkley.
No, there was not.
Can we name 3 of them? Like
Bigsby.
Like with all this coming up on defense, and this is going to sound crazy, and I wouldn't do this, to be clear, so don't, people are going to go nuts, but like, could Zach Bond be traded?
No.
Nah, I don't think that'll happen. Jacoby will not be back.
A lot of dudes on defense. Got young first.
I'll tell you who I don't think will be back. Reed Blankenship, because I think they would have signed him by now.
Be back either.
He did not have a good game yesterday either.
No, Reed's a tough one because Vic likes him, but
yeah, Vic does like him.
He didn't have a good year. He didn't have a good year, and
guys like him are the guys you really got to make good decisions on.
Yeah. I'm just watching a Baldy tape about Christian McCaffrey. Dude, that guy is just
McCaffrey's a stud.
That is the ultimate film guy, by the way. I love Baldy.
Me too. I'm a big Baldy guy. Yeah. Always like Baldy.
Ross Tucker's a good film guy too. If you ever get to sit in a room with him,
there's a lot of good film guys, but I've never liked the piling on in bad games, and then just the extremes.
But again, and you know what? I don't even blame like those people for it. I blame the culture that has been set. Everything's got to be a hot take, and I don't blame them. They're just playing the game that is getting played. It sucks.
Because Stan's great.
Here's the quote. Here's a notable quote. Something I want to talk about it with you guys. Here's Shady McCoy after the game last night.
Shady.
I did a lot of digging. I won't throw anyone under the bus here, but I know some people, and the problem is we don't do anything exotic, no different formations, no different motions, because I'm hearing that Jalen Hurts can't really do it.
Really?
It's not news to John.
No, John's been saying it, but I mean, now people hear it from somebody that they.
Well, do you hear Shady get ripped for that? I'm like, he is part of the media now.
Yeah.
Like, he can't have an opinion on this or can't back it up with what he's hearing? I don't.
Well, I remember when Kellen Moore first got here, and because one of the big things was motion, and because to far too many people, motion equals creativity, and that's what you should be doing. That's what you have to do. Again, it depends on the quarterback. Phillip Rivers didn't like motion, did fine. Because he could read defenses and he would prefer to get the information formationally. There's different ways to do things. Number one, there's not just one way you have to do something in the NFL, as evidenced by the fact that nobody's been more successful in the NFL over the past 5 years than the Philadelphia Eagles, who run one of the simplest offenses in the league. Now, they run that offense because of the quarterback. I go back to Kellen Moore for that specific. I remember having conversations with him, asking him on the record in the offseason about motion. He loved it. It's part of what he was as a quarterback. It dated back to when he was young, and that's how he learned the game. It's a big part of what he does. And he wanted to do it here, and he tried to do it here, and they scaled it back. If that's not evidence to people, and I can't make people believe, because the Eagles are going to protect their guys. They're not going to go out there and say, Jalen Hurts can't do this, Jalen Hurts can't do that.
And they should do that because then you'll have a bunch of A.J. Browns.
But they run the offense they run because they're trying to build around the strengths of the quarterback. And that's not a bad thing. That's where people get off the trail. They think it's an insult. It's not an insult because they've had tremendous success doing it. He's a very good quarterback. But he's not the type of quarterback that most fans think he is or
he's
want
not
him to
Matthew
be.
Stafford, and that's okay. It's fine.
Yes. He's had more success than Matthew. He's had more success than anybody.
Yeah. I almost kicked the hornet's nest yesterday. You guys want to hear a strange but true stat regarding Eagles quarterbacks right now?
Hit me.
Through 10 playoff games, Donovan McNabb and Jalen Hurts have the same playoff record, 6-4.
Which isn't a bad record, by the way.
No, it's not. But everybody makes Donovan look like he's the worst because he didn't win a Super Bowl. Well, Donovan won a playoff game every year. He found a way to do it, and he wasn't carried by his defense every year either.
I mean, this is what, the third time in 5 years they're one and done, right? So it's like to the extremes. They're one and done or they go to the Super Bowl. that's where we are right now.
Look, Jalen's a winner, man. He is. He's everything John said is true. Everything John says is true. Just because Jalen Hurts isn't Matthew Stafford or Joe Burrow or Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes or whoever does not mean he's a bad quarterback. I just wish Eagles fans, it's not even Eagles fans, it's everybody. I wish they would come to this. You don't have to be elite or shitty. You can be good. It's fine to be good. Being good is what got Jalen Hurts a Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, why do you have to be the best or the worst? Again, it's the culture thing.
Yeah. I agree. Ricky Bobby rules is what I call it. It's
like Cowboys fans saying today, all the Eagles did was play one more week than we did. Yeah, because they were better than you. That's why they play one more week than you.
Yeah, but what's the difference?
Well, that's the thing, though. What is the difference? There's a big difference. That's
hard
that's
to win.
where I bring up.
Well, no, but the expectation was vastly different on those two teams.
I agree, but the Eagles are better. It's not, it's not an unsuccessful season.
Well, I agree with you that you can't always win. Tom Brady never won, but this is a failure of expectation for this team.
I have told Eagles fans this since the day they won the Super Bowl last year. You know how hard it is to repeat, and the fact that you thought this team, it was going to be hard to repeat no matter what.
We didn't make it to the divisional or the conference championship. We got bounced in the first round by probably the worst defense.
I am saying it was hard to repeat. Period. And the way they ended their season, it just did not have the formula of a repeat. But I agree with you in the expectations, Ian. You have every right to have those expectations. But the way it played out the last couple of weeks, I just did not see a Super Bowl championship.
By the way, I don't think it's my expectations. I think it's Jeffrey.
Oh no, this is in general. No,
yeah, but I don't mean. I think my expectations, your guys' expectations, and everybody listening's expectations are moot. Who gives a shit? That's what .
I agree with that.
Not the guy who's funding everything, who's the owner of the team and the GM who's making all the decisions. I think it's a failure of their expectations.
Oh, I agree too. And I think it wasn't the year a lot of people thought, but it just seemed like, again, over these last couple of weeks with the decisions that were made and how they played, it just didn't look right. And I just kept saying, you reap what you sow, you reap what you sow, you reap what you sow. And they got it.
Well, expectations are a funny thing. You're right. The Eagles had high expectations.
Yeah.
I don't necessarily blame it on just the fans. They created high expectations in their own minds as well. But I do think there is, to Jeff's point, there is a societal thing that anything less than a Super Bowl championship is a failure, which I don't agree with. However, this is a disappointing loss. I mean, this is not a team they should have lost to. So, again, if you make it to the divisional round, if you make it to the NFC Championship game, certainly that's a successful season. No question. I don't care any team anywhere. I would have said that's a successful season, even if you lose. Losing to this team and where they were,
I
health
agree.
wise, that's not it. That's not a good loss. So I have no problem people pointing that out, but to look at the bigger picture and the success of this team over a 5-year period, it's still pretty impressive. Still pretty impressive.
Yeah.
By the way,
mean,
I don't know if
go
you can
through
do
Super
this,
Bowls to win
Zander.
one.
I just reposted Baldy's breakdown. It's like 2 minutes, but that if people want to watch it, go to I think 42 seconds left. My God, look at poor Nakobe Dean being put in the blender by Christian McCaffrey on that touchdown.
I mean, and people are like, "Oh, Nakobe got burnt." I'm like, "Really?"
Oh my God!
I know, but you expect Nakobe Dean, who I love and is a great player, to stay?
Nakobe got burnt.
McCaffrey? I mean, come on. There's not a line
people,
yeah, no one's doing that.
That's what I'm talking about. People, no offense, but a lot of people are nuts, man.
I mean,
I was kind of laughing at this too. Someone, and you could tell it was the younger Eagles fan, was saying, "This is terrible. Losing the first round, go to Super Bowl, losing the first round, wins the Super Bowl, losing the first round. This is unacceptable. This is terrible." And I'm just like thinking to myself, man, I would have taken that in 1996.
Yeah, but that's bullshit. This roster is better than that. And by the way, I got a bone to pick with both of you two. All right, you guys, both of you, Jeff, you included, you came on this show many a times, fired up that everybody was overreacting about the offense. The offense stunk, and ultimately it's the reason.
Because everybody overreacts about everything. That's why I can't take anybody
they
seriously.
They didn't overreact about the offense because they couldn't score damn points on one of the worst defenses in football.
The Eagles' offense scored 28 points per game one time, and Chip Kelly and I heard people tell me the offense sucked. So,
well, they don't score that now, and they got way better talent.
Oh,
are we sure they have better talent?
The talent.
Are we sure? Are we sure they have better talent?
Yes.
Guess what?
It might not be as good as we think, but it's definitely.
I'm a basketball nut, Zander. I'm going to tell you this right now: the Sixers had Joel Embiid, Ben Simmons, Jimmy Butler, Tobias Harris, and whoever they had, and they couldn't even get out of the second round of the playoffs.
Joel Embiid. Oh man, you're going to get me really pissed.
Yeah,
he's
playing
well right now.
Yeah, he is. But
I know I'm bringing up a sore subject, because I agree with a lot of your takes on Joel Embiid.
You know what? When you play a certain way, and like what does it matter? Like, and I'm not, because I know people are going to take it the wrong way. I'm not comparing Jalen Hurts to Jake Browning or JJ McCarthy. Well, what did Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and everybody do in Cincinnati when Jake Browning was out there versus what they do when Joe Burrow is out there?
Not much.
What did Justin Jefferson do this year as the greatest receiver in NFL history, statistic-wise, in his first 4 years, whatever it was? The difference between the quarterbacks he had, Kirk Cousins, Sam Darnold, and J.J. McCarthy. What did he do this year? Is he talented? Is he talented? Damn right he is. What the fuck does it matter?
They needed Justin Jefferson to play in a meaningless Week 18 game for them to get 1,000 yards. That's how bad it was. That should never happen.
I'm not criticizing Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Justin Jefferson. And by the way, Jordan Addison
in one game with Joe Flacco. I do remember that. That was crazy.
Well, Joe's always been a high ball.
Didn't he have like 23 targets? Which is just insane.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think the game plan was to get the ball to him.
Yeah. AJ
now, in the Eagles, it's more about a specific style than a bad quarterback, because he's not a bad quarterback. Let me emphasize that, because I already got people tweeting idiots, taking stuff out of the context. But
With no faces and gray profiles. Yeah.
But he's not a bad quarterback, but you have to play a certain style with Jalen Hurts. It is not a high volume style. I can say it once, I can say it 10 times, I can say it 100 times. Don't blame me, blame your favorite team. They're the ones who've decided this. Actions speak louder than words. How do they play? Now, you're going to default to, well, the coaches are idiots. Kevin Patullo has coached in this league for 15 years. Nick Sirianni's coached in this league for somewhere around that range. There are other offenses they've been in. As I said, go look at Kellen Moore in Dallas. Go look at Kellen Moore in the Chargers. Go look at Kellen Moore in New Orleans. Compare that to Kellen Moore with Philadelphia. Go look at Shane Steichen in Indianapolis. Compare that to Shane Steichen in Philadelphia. It's all out there. Actions speak louder than words. So you can talk about skill position people all you want. If the offensive line stinks, they don't matter. B, if you play a conservative ball security style, they're going to be limited from their upside. And C, did I go A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3?
Yeah, you did ABC.
By the way, Saquon didn't play that well this year. AJ didn't play up to his standard. That's part of it too.
And they played not to lose a lot.
Yeah,
and
Jalen. I mean,
it did bite him.
Jalen didn't win you many games. I mean, 168 in the air in the playoff game when you win or go home. He didn't play where nobody.
Honestly, Zander, the 4.3 yards per attempt bothers me a hell of a lot more than 168.
I mean, 20 completions, 168 yards. What are they?
Yeah, it's terrible. It is. What did he throw? 38 times, John?
Guys, what's more likely this summer? What's more likely? Sweeping changes, and I don't mean sweeping like blow everything up. I mean like whole new philosophy comes in. Maybe AJ's gone, Goddard's gone, and you have some change, some turnover, sweeping change, or kind of run it back, pay the guys on defense you got to pay, look to the draft to bolster up some spots that you need to bolster up, try and talk AJ Brown into coming back. Like what's more likely to you guys?
Well, I don't know how much you can change it considering all the French players with all the big contracts.
Yeah, you know what? It's kind of like the Phillies in a sense, right? Like, you're going to win. It's just, I think you guys got to change the coaching staff and just see if that works.
Yeah. Well, this is part of the way the Eagles do business is very good when it works. If there's changes that need to be made, it makes it much harder, to move on as to John's.
Well, it doesn't make it much harder. You just got to sort of reboot, and you have a year of they've proven that, but you will have a year where in their world you struggle, which means you're on the cusp of the playoffs versus being
this is my
contender.
Do we think Dallas Goedert's back?
No.
I
don't hear. So that's going to be one change.
I hope Dallas Goedert goes and gets a massive contract somewhere because he took a pay.
I do too.
And he's the only guy who showed up consistently all freaking year.
Well, I just he's 31. He'll get a 2-year deal for significant money, but he's 31.
You see some tight ends playing. I mean, how old Ertz? I know he got a bad injury this year.
36.
Look at his deal. Look at his deals over the past year.
Yeah,
you go 1-2 years at a time.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's not getting a massive 5-year deal.
I don't see Jahan Dotson back.
Guys, what's the end of the year meeting then? Sound like with Sirianni? Is it because I really don't think this is simple though. Like John, you've talked about this to your credit. All right, we're firing Patullo. Okay, all right, we all agree that's going to happen. What's next? Do they bring another offensive coordinator in who is subscribing to the same philosophy that Kevin had to subscribe to? Are they bringing somebody in and saying, Nick, you're not allowed to interject anymore. Let the offensive coordinator run the offense. Does that happen? Or I don't know. I don't know how much can really change. I don't know what that meeting sounds like. I really don't. I don't think it's as simple as.
Well, I don't think it's. I think it's a bad way to do business to say, Nick Sirianni, you're the head coach, but you can't chime in on
Yeah,
an
you're
offense.
castrating him.
He's
a dead man walking. He's a dead man walking.
Exactly. That is a bad way of doing business. Number one. So number two, if you truly believe that way, you should just move on. I think the biggest mistake in the Jeffrey Lurie regime in Philadelphia was the stupid mentality of, oh, we got to see what we have in Chip Kelly, so I'm going to give him total control. He did it once. He might say, oh, we got to see what we really have in Nick Sirianni, so let's force him to call the plays.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
That would be a huge mistake. All you can do is let the head coach run the team the way he wants to run the team until you no longer want him to run the team.
Exactly. If I'm the owner or GM, this is what I've always felt. And this even goes with a successful head coach. If you believe there is someone better out there, then that's when you make the move. Until then,
guess what? If you're that convicted as Jeffrey Lurie, and he's loved John Harbaugh, he loves John Harbaugh.
Oh yeah, he's always loved John Harbaugh. John Harbaugh was one of his own holdovers.
Old school, no aggression. Look, I like Harbaugh. But
I'm saying he loves him. He loves him as a person. He would have hired him at times if the timing worked out, or if they let.
But John Harbaugh's job is never in jeopardy in Baltimore.
I'm not saying he'd do it now. I don't think he'd do it now. But I'm saying, if he believes that, if he believes that Mike McDaniel, which I couldn't imagine, or Matt LaFleur becomes available, or evidently, Schefter reported Green Bay is going to try to work out an extension. So evidently he's going to stay.
Doesn't the Dolphins' new GM want LaFleur?
Well, yeah, he's
Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he came from Green Bay.
They might go happily now. But I think they're going to try to. I think they're going to try to keep LaFleur, at least if Adams correct, and we'll see if it works out. So if there's one of these guys you truly want, then make the move. Then show the courage of your convictions. But that's a one-man decision.
Yeah, and if you get John Harbaugh, you're probably getting Todd Monken with him. I'm
but
assuming Monken's going to go with Harbaugh.
But anyway, the worst thing you can do is neuter a head coach, because everybody knows it. It's not going to work. It's not going to work.
And Nick can say back, hey, man, I want a Super Bowl.
Yeah, but isn't that kind of like on par with like the Eagles organization? Like, whether you like it or you don't, doesn't matter. They've been very successful, and the owner and the GM think it's more because of them. That's why they fired Doug Peterson. You're not keeping your coach. And then, by the way, they were proven correct.
Fire him. I'm not saying don't fire, but fire. Don't say, oh, you can't.
Yeah, but Nick's more political, John. Like you said, he's better at the politics. He'll sit down and say, okay, you do what you want to do.
I still laugh how the owner and the GM always think it's them, but they got that philosophy over the guy they kicked the crap out of in the Super Bowl last year.
Well, I mean, part of them has been proven correct. I agree with you.
No, but I just think it's funny how they love to take credit for Andy.
Not many GMs that win a Super Bowl with a completely different coach, completely different team, completely different quarterback. Doesn't happen.
Actually, Howie, I think, is one of only 3 GMs, if I'm not mistaken, to win the Super Bowl with 2 different quarterbacks.
Yeah,
I think.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, if they believe that, then again, fire the head coach and bring in who you want, and try to do it that way.
And it's hard to argue against those two.
Will there be any conversations about the quarterback this summer?
Yes.
Yeah, there always will.
I mean,
all right, Zander, I'll give you my guarantee with
They're very well aware. They have conversations about the quarterback all the time. They build the offense around the quarterback. I mean,
okay. I just didn't know where they are on it, because it's not really. That's not particularly one you're moving off of. I mean, no trade clause.
No, they're not. They're not moving off, Jalen.
But that's why I think the OC question is so tough. It's not just bring in a new OC. What, to run the same offense?
History says it's going to end up that way.
Yeah,
they didn't.
At least you have time to hire somebody, unlike last year.
They didn't bring in Kellen Moore with the idea that he's going to run the same offense. That's just the way it ended up.
Yeah, right.
So they'll go into it with the idea that new ideas, fresh ideas, motion, more creativity. History says it will be scaled back. Maybe history is wrong. You know,
Because, by the way, John, this is one thing I got upset at yesterday. And again, I think a lot of people agree with the premise of the tweet, but everybody looks at one word. I said, if the Eagles do part ways with Kevin Patullo, because they haven't got rid of him yet, that's why I put if. Jalen Hurts will have 13 different play callers and 11 seasons. Everybody goes, what do you
that
mean?
doesn't matter. That only matters when you want to make excuses, and then the minute you want to talk about continuity, oh, you can't. You got to change the play caller.
The only people I talked to yesterday about this were people that mentioned Baker, because they say, hey, look, Baker's done it and has played at a high level. And I said, I agree with you. Baker's had 11 and 9. It's a lot.
Yeah, well, I think part of that is, and Howie's talked about this, that part of that is a measure of success. That's the way it's going to be. If you don't have a head coach, and that's what the argument with people, like I'm a CEO coach guy. I'd rather have a CEO coach. I talk about it all the time.
That's what
other people want. Yeah, other people want the Kyle Shanahan style coach because they're obsessed. They think the game is about X's and O's. In my opinion, they have no idea the enormity of that job.
Yeah.
None. Zero.
You know, we love to talk about Shanahan and McVay, and for good reason, but that tree has one Super Bowl, and that's McVay.
Yeah. And I always make the basketball comparison between Phil Jackson and Larry Brown. If I'm down 2 with 10 seconds left, I don't want Phil Jackson drawing up a play for me. I want Larry Brown drawing. Yeah,
I won't want Larry Brown doing it. Yeah.
If I want a coach who's going to keep Shaq and Kobe from killing each other, I want Phil freaking Jackson.
You guys think this
I want Steve Kerr. That's another one I want in that case. Yeah. Steve Kerr. Somehow the Warriors are still together. They're old, but somehow he kept them all together.
Do you guys think this is a coveted job, this offensive coordinator job? I know there's a lot of talent and people like
that's a good question.
That is a good question. I think the
organization for a guy who wants to put himself in a position to get a head coaching job and show off his offensive prowess and mindset and all this stuff. I don't know.
But Brian Johnson's career hasn't exactly gone north since he was the Eagles off.
Talk about a scapegoat.
Well,
oh yeah, he was a scapegoat.
I think it's sort of like the Christian McCaffrey thing. I think it's coming out now that the Eagles' original desire in 2023 was it 2024 was Cliff Kingsbury. They wanted Cliff Kingsbury. Yeah, it was the first interview, but they wanted him. And the reason it got derailed is because he wanted too much autonomy when it came to the coaching staff. He wanted to bring in a bunch of his guys and replace some of the positions.
And he has the right to think that. And he got that in Washington.
The Eagles, despite the narrative, the Eagles wanted to keep Jamal Singleton and Aaron Moorhead and Jason Michael and obviously Jeff Stoutland. They wanted to keep those assistant coaches, and that's what derailed things with Cliff Kingsbury. And Kellen was willing to come in under those restrictions, and they gave him Doug Nussmeier as sort of his guy, who was the quarterback's coach. And they also had one quality control guy, Kyle Bolero. That was it. And Kellen was willing to accept that. To Zander's point, you're probably not going to get the really high-profile guys, but somebody will always there's a good coach out there that will take the job knowing.
I know that.
But like perfect example. People talk about, Mike McDaniel will be a perfect offensive coordinator here. Okay, well, Mike McDaniel's going to want to bring in this guy. Mike McDaniel's going to be he's already on the list for head coaches. But say you bring him in, he wants to bring in all his guys. That ain't going to happen.
I don't think it's that simple too with a coordinator like that. Those are the type of coordinators that have their offense and they need a specific type of quarterback. Like somebody said to me last night after on the postgame
Mike McDaniel is going to run Kyle Shanahan's offense.
That's real quick. Yep. Somebody said to me, "Can you imagine the Eagles' offense with Kyle Shanahan?" I said, "I got bad news for you, brother. Kyle Shanahan would have traded Jalen Hurts 3 years ago, like he did with Trey Lance.
Mac Jones might be the Eagles quarterback if that was the case.
First-round picks on. They spent 3 first-round picks, and the guy barely played a game there. He's not running the offense placated around the quarterback. He needs his offense his way with a quarterback that's on time. They're not going to run the offense.
And Brock Purdy did that at Iowa State, and he does that now in the NFL. It's amazing how that works.
And by the way,
and adding to John's point, Mac Jones is better. That's the irony of the whole thing.
Yeah, I love Mac Jones, by the way.
Purdy makes some good throws, though.
Purdy is a good quarterback. I wish people would put some respect on Brock Purdy's name. He's a much better quarterback than people give him credit for.
He's a very good. He deserves credit. I do like Mac Jones personally. I do think Mac Jones can be.
Yeah, Devontae Smith. What do you think of Mac Jones?
I do think
we know what he thinks.
I do think he could be and will be a good starter in this league when he gets his next opportunity after being with Kyle. But for all the Mike McDaniels of the world and everybody else who has become a head coach off the Kyle Shanahan tree. Kyle has told all of them, and I got this from somebody who used to work for the 49ers, the day you can call plays better than me or design plays better than me, I will give it up. And he has not found that guy. Now, part of that is probably ego, but
it's hard to find someone who can call plays
well,
better.
I just mean, obviously, he's the guy making the decision. Yeah. I agree. Nobody does it better.
Can we play a hypothetical here since I brought up Mike McDaniel? Can you imagine Eagles fans listening to a Mike McDaniel press conference? Just one?
Yeah, it wouldn't go over well.
I've listened to a bunch of them. It's like, you wonder, John, I still remember there's a certain executive on the Jaguars. You came in the one day when we were in the media house. You're just like, what the?
Yeah. But yeah, they would turn on Mike McDaniel pretty quickly.
Mike McDaniel is a very interesting guy.
Yeah.
And he's a football lifer too. Everybody thinks the guy's like the ultimate nerd. I'm like, he's a football guy, man.
Yeah, and I've only been here since 2015, back here since 2015, 2016, full-time covering the team. And there is not one coordinator they have not shit on. The fan base as a whole. Not one.
I mean, look, they shit on Andy Reid.
And they're going to shit on the next one.
Wait, it's so funny you say that, though, John, because that's not exclusive to Philadelphia. And I had another guy in the chat last night. Look at the coaching Josh Allen gets. I'm like, oh, really? Is that where you're going to go? Every person in Buffalo has been calling for the firing of McDermott and Joe Brady for like 4 years. I mean, come on.
And you're absolutely right. It's not unique to Philadelphia. It is not.
It's not. It's every fan base. It's all over the country.
But my only point is to boil it down, because the Eagles are the team I cover. To boil it down, you're going to hate the next guy too. History tells me you're going to hate the next guy too. I'm
pretty sure the only coordinator Eagles fans love around here is Vic Fangio, and for good reason.
The only way it turns into love is post success. Frank Reich, post Super Bowl 52, Shane Steichen, post Super Bowl, and obviously Kellen Moore, who, boy, you guys shit upon him pretty heavily at times.
Well, that's why my bigger concern right now is different than everybody else.
Hey, John, how about last week, by the way, speaking of a former coordinator here, how about the Cardinals wishing Jonathan Gannon a happy birthday and firing him like hours later?
Wow. I mean, come on.
I know the social media
team is not involved with those decisions.
That is awesome, though. I'm just like laughing. I'm like, wow.
The social media team's got the list of birthdays, and they're just on autopilot.
Yeah, firing the man.
All right, Jeff, we got to run, man. We got 10 minutes left. I didn't realize how late we were. Jeff, your final thought real quick, man, before we run.
I mean, look, I'm with you, Zander. From the optics is at this point season, but the way it ended, I'm not surprised.
Me neither. Jeff, thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, bud.
See you, Zander. See you, John.